YouTube mobile app ever since they restricted it to people with over 1,000 subscribers. So, anyways, before I get into chatting and other stuff, I want to tell y'all what's been going on. So, this year, I turned 17. I turned 17 last month. And so far, it has been quite a shit show, to tell you the truth. A lot has happened, and I would say that turning 17 is the worst thing that ever happened to me, because a lot has, seriously, a lot has happened. And I'm gonna go into detail with it, everything. So, last month, I discovered that I was struggling so bad in school that I was just like, there is no way that I'm going to be able to fix this at all. So, there's an alternative high school in my district. There's an enhanced learning center. And my brother happened to go there because he was having trouble too. And I mean, he's doing really good now. He's doing really well now. He's got his own apartment. He's got 3 cats. He's living it. He even has a gaming PC. He just got that like maybe 2 years ago. Not even 2 years ago, actually. But yeah, and I know that if I go there, I would be giving up band. I would be giving up prom dances and whatnot. Thankfully, they have they have alleviated some of the restrictions, like not being able to step on any campus. You can still go to you can go to school events now. You couldn't back when my brother went there, but basically, there's no extracurricular activities at this school. There's only 11 teachers there. Very small school. So there's no band, no nothing. And I made the decision last month that I'm willing to give that up to go there. So what my counselor did was drop me from band. And that was the end of that. And I ended up failing for the first 9 weeks. I ended up failing band and physics. Even though band was dropped, it still counted. But it kind of worked in my favor because then it allowed me to have eligibility to be able to apply to the school. Because in order to apply to the school, one of the requirements is, one of the criteria is to be, you have to have failed at least 2 classes in any given year. So, yeah. But I had the meeting this morning at the school, the other school, and it went really good. And from what I'm hearing, I've been accepted. So I'm hoping this will turn things around for me, because it certainly did for my brother. And I have faith that I will go down the path that's going to lead me to a good future. So, basically, to sum things up, I'm no longer in band. I'm not going to get the Letterman jacket for sticking with band through my junior year. That's not going to happen anymore. And it was hard to do, but band honestly this year, I don't know what happened, but all it did was stress me out. And based on past experiences I had, it was better for me to just let it go. And you know, I've dealt with that a lot this year. That, yikes, turn on. Echo, light 100%. It is way too dim in here. Ah, it's a little better. Actually, let me get some better light going. Just so I don't have that problem again. There we go. So, yeah. I switched instruments. They put me on sousaphone for marching season. That's their new role. It's prerequisite for bass trombone. So, I was on that, and then what ultimately led to me quitting band was just like how much it stressed me out, because I did not want to go to any of the football games, and I really didn't want to get kicked out for not going to the football games. So as a result, it stressed me out because I still wanted to be there for concert season, because we the wind ensemble always plays Sleigh Ride every Christmas. Hey. But honestly, after a while, that just stopped mattering to me. It just didn't matter to me anymore, and it definitely wasn't easy to go through with. I can tell you that, because I've been in bands for the past 6 years, this being my seventh, and I never thought, no one ever thought that I would drop bands because of something like that. Or anything for that matter, but I really wanted to be a part of the ensemble and play Sleigh Ride one time, and maybe even both years, but last year is when it would have been the best, because the Wind Ensemble played a lot of amazing music last year, all of which I have uploaded onto my channel. At least for UIL, I did not get recordings of the pieces they did with the orchestra, which would be Mars and Magic of Harry Potter, or something along those lines. But, yeah. And not being a part of the wind ensemble when they played those pieces really hurt me, because I wanted so bad to. We should have had the re-auditions in December like we always do, and we didn't have them. Like, we were all anticipating, like, a date that we'd have to do it, and it just never came up. So, that really sucked. That really sucked for me, because I wanted so bad. I wanted to be in the top band since I was in 6th grade. Since I was in 6th grade, and I'm a junior, and I only just this school year placed into the top band. And I don't know if being on bass trombone helped that, because I'm the only person that was actually on the the band list as under bass trombone. Like, there's no one else in the school that currently plays bass trombone. And now with me out of there, there's no one whatsoever. And honestly, I'd wanted to play bass trombone since I was in 6th grade, but once I started playing tuba for a while, I really started to like that. And bass trombone, it was pretty vexatious trying to use both triggers. I don't know why. It just, like, it would just make you feel like you didn't have a really good hold of it, because, like, usually you hold the bore with your last 3 fingers, and then the brace with your thumb, but then You gotta throw in the middle finger with the second trigger, and using both, it makes it hard to hold. Makes and ultimately making it harder to play. So I really started to like tuba a lot more than bass trombone. And to this day, I still love it. I absolutely miss playing it, but I'm glad that I got the experience that I did. Even if I didn't get to perform Angels in the Architecture, I still got to play Dies Irae and a bunch of other songs that are in the show this year. It's really good. Trumpet, that's cool. We have 33 trumpet players at my school this year, and it's crazy. Never thought that there would be that many people in one section. Usually it's clarinets or flutes, but trumpets, yeah, but. And there are some really, really nasty people in both of the sections that I've been in. Both of which I've known for a while. One of them was like a sibling to me, and they turned against me, and that really hurt to watch. It really hurt to witness that 2 years ago, so much so that I broke down at the first football game that I ever went to as a high schooler with the band. And it sucked. It absolutely sucked. And I think that moment, what happened leading up to that moment, is what started me on the path to thinking that, okay, I don't think I'm going to be able to do band forever because, like, I'm just going to be stressed doing it, feeling like that I have to, continue doing it. But, like, the end result wouldn't really get me anything because, like, people don't really wear their Letterman jackets after high school. Like, they just don't. Like, my parents, I don't even know if they had any, but I've never seen them. And if they do, then that's even more proof, like, that people don't care about them after high school. Because, like, they're cool to have when you're in school, but after high school, they don't mean anything. And the Letterman jacket could not keep me in band, even though I would have gotten it if I stayed in band through my junior year. It just didn't play out that way. And not being a part of the ensemble that played Angels in the Architecture, Barber of Seville, and Gallup, some of my new favorite pieces, it really kind of ruined band for me. Especially since I wasn't given a chance to re-audition in December to have a chance at placing in the top band. Especially because I'm related to a school in the district. Like, it sucks. It really hurts that I wasn't given that opportunity with everything that I'm capable of. Like, it really hurt me. And the nasty people in my sections, they played a big part in me ultimately quitting band too. Honestly, that's majority of what made me quit band. And, like, you have those two things, like, feeling upset that I wasn't a part of the ensemble when they played those spectacular pieces, and the nasty people that I have to deal with, and then I'm struggling and want to go to a school that doesn't have any extracurricular activity, really made me dead set on transferring over there and giving everything up that I have. Which really isn't much because I feel out of place at my current school. I don't feel like I belong there. Like, literally no one likes me. And I can't figure out why, and I don't care. Because, honestly, I do not care about that school. I really don't care. If it's supposedly one of the richest in the states, in the state, my bad. Um, I'm still not getting the supports that my IEP promises, and that's a problem. So, with all that in mind, with everything about bands and me struggling in my classes, those three things coming together are what eventually led me to dropping bands and getting accepted into this new school. And my life has not been easy this year. 2020 was a shitty year, but this year, oh my god, it really took it. Like, I was in a toxic romantic relationship for 15 months. I was neglected all 15 months I was in it, because she communicated poorly, and I hated that, and I put up with that way, way longer than I should have, just like I always do with things. So, breaking up with her, I felt so much better for a while, and then my depression came back during summer, so I went and got a job. I work at Sonic, and I'm doing really well over there, but now there's some issues going on over there. Like, that somehow I'm not going to go into details, actually. But, like, it's just, this year has not treated me well. Like, 2021 was by far one of the hardest years of my life. Like, a lot changed this year. I ended a relationship that I was in for over a year. I cut off a friendship that I really enjoyed being around because, I missed the person, and I hadn't talked to him in, what was it, a year and a half? I missed him. I loved that person. They were one of the funniest people I'd ever met. And then a bunch of other drama happens, like, I feel out of place at school. I quit bands. That's a major change for me, because I've been in bands for 6 years. I have 6 years of experience in bands as a trombone player, and a lot on euphonium and tuba as well. Even though I've barely played them, I still have a lot of experience playing them because, like, I taught myself all the valve combinations and stuff, but and, like, I can read different clefs. I can read tenor clef, treble clef, and, like, it's just, to put that away that was a huge, that is one of the biggest changes that I exhibited this year. Like, I cut off a lot of friendships I cut off a lot of people that were toxic. I did that a lot this year, and I picked up on it. I noticed this pattern, and I was like, holy shit. And the fact that it all happens inside of 1 year, when a bunch of things happen repeatedly, okay, how do I phrase this? When something happens to you repeatedly within a certain amount of time, you'll notice. Like, you'll notice that that's, like, the thing you had to deal with most in the year. Like, I've ended a lot of friendships that were toxic and just weren't treating me well. I wasn't getting anything out of them, and in doing so, I felt better. And quitting bands felt like that in a way, cutting it off, because it was toxic for me to be in it, and I was just feeling like that I had to, for the Letterman jacket or for whatever the hell else for region, and it just wouldn't have gotten me anywhere if I had. I would still be stressed out. I wouldn't want to go to the other school because they don't have band there, even though it doesn't benefit me. And things like that are not worth holding on to. Like, I knew that when I was in my relationship of 15 months. Like, I was going like, you might regret not ending this sooner than later. And honestly, I did. I really should have listened to myself, because persevering with that did not get me anywhere. It really didn't. So if you feel any uncertainty about something, bring it up. Bring it up, fix the problem before it turns into a nightmare. If you catch cancer in its early stage, you can handle it. And like, band was a dream of mine, and even the best dreams turn into nightmares if you don't act on them soon enough. Just like if you really want something for a long time and then you stop wanting it and then you get it, it's just like you don't care for it anymore. Like, it's one of those things. Like, even bread gets moldy after a while. And, you know, if you want something, get it. Go out and get it. Because life is too short to live in despair and uncertainty. And I don't want any of y'all, I don't want any person, I don't want any human being to go through that. Because it's not fun, it's not fair. No one should ever have to go through that. And it sucks that with everything that, you know, I have on my side, that still happens to me. And this, like, it hasn't made anything easy. Nothing about this year has been easy. Okay? Like, the only really good thing I can get in about this year is I got my driver's license. But that's it. That's really it. That's my only, like, real accomplishment that I made this year. And also getting a job. I got that too. And you know, it's good. Like, Sonic, I absolutely recommend it for anyone's first job. It's a great place to work. I absolutely love it. And most of the people that I work with are pretty chill. Like, I'm supposed to be moving into kitchen. But yeah. But all of that, combined with the size of my school and the amount of help that I'm able to obtain being very little, is what made me realize that I'm not going to be able to stay in this school and be successful. It's just not going to happen. That was what happened with my brother. My parents said that there was no way he'd be able to stay there and be successful. So he went to the school that I'm planning to go to. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm really hoping that it will get me back on the right track, because at the end of last school year, I was doing amazing. I got to exempt all of my finals, more than sophomores were allowed. Like, it was crazy. As a sophomore, at least in my district, you're only allowed to exempt 3 finals. I got to exempt 5. I don't know why, but I was happy as hell. I didn't have to go to school at all the last week. It was great. And then this year starts, and everything goes down. And my parents are just like, what the hell happened? And I'm wondering the same thing too. And I honestly think that my IEP support has really dropped since the past year. And that's why I'm switching schools. Yeah, last school year did suck. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad the whole time that my ex was not at school because I thought she would be. And then when she didn't come back in January, I was demoralized. Oh my god. And then she came back in February after I had gotten over it, and I was just like, oh. And then that's where all of our relationship problems really arose from. And it just wasn't healthy. And as a result of that, I am not looking for a relationship anymore. I never thought that I would be like that. I never thought that I would turn into an aromantic. Um, I, I, I've always been girl crazy, I guess you could say. And I never thought that something like that would change that for me. There's a lot of things that I never thought would change. I never thought that I would quit bands. And this year, I'm definitely going to do a recap on this year. I'm going to do my own, like, little rewind. Because this year has changed me so much more than any other year I've been around. Like, the amount of change I've experienced this year is equivalent to that of a person going to prison. Like, my life has changed a lot for better and for worse. My life changed a lot for better and for worse in 2020 too. So, yeah, I mean, that's just. It happens, it happens to the best of us, our interests will change, as Diesel Juicy has said. Um, I'm really close friends with him. He considers me as close of a friend as he does Evan and Aaron. Like, he really likes me, and I really enjoy him. I always enjoy the visits that we have, the phone calls that we have, because, it's never a dull moment with him. Like, if I'm depressed, he makes me feel better, somehow. Like, those are the kind of people that I want to be surrounded by. I don't want to be surrounded by shitty people like I was when I was in band. Because it's not good for me. And I can honestly say, too, that being alone is not good for me either. It's like I've been holed up in my room. I was held up in my room so much last year, like back in March. Um, like, no matter what time I fell asleep, I would wake up as soon as there was even like 1/10 of a lumen of light outside, I would wake up. Like, that was how sensitive I was. No matter if I went to sleep like 30 minutes before the sun came up, that's when I would wake up, and it pissed me off. So, when COVID happened, like, it really messed me up. Because, like, I still had the problem where I was waking up at, like, 6 in the morning. But then, I was away from my girlfriend, because she went to New Orleans and left me because she was in a rush to get home without giving me a kiss, and that ruined me. Like, that was the main thing that happened to me that led to everything that I'm going through now. That was the start of my depression. Like, the whole spring break she was gone and wouldn't respond to my texts. I was devastated. Like, you would not see me out of my bed. Like, at all. Like, and then, even afterwards, when school was closed, like, my district was one of the last to close schools in the nation. Probably the last to close schools. And honestly, I can honestly confirm, and my parents too, can confirm that I could sleep as long as I felt like I could. Like, I could sleep 14 hours at a time, and then, like, maybe wake up for 30 minutes an hour and do it again. Like, it was bad. It put me in such a bad mental state that I had 3 med changes in a month. I saw 2 psychiatrists over the phone. And a lot of some of those medications I'm still on today. And I'm still battling the depression that was caused by the events of 2020 today. I'm still putting up with it. And, I wish I could just, like, cut it out of my life like I did with the toxic people and everything else that was just stressing me out, but you can't. It's an emotion. It's an emotion. It takes over your mind. Like, when you're happy, you control your thoughts, but when you have depression, your thoughts control you, and that is one of the biggest challenges that anyone can face. And like I said a little bit ago, I don't want anyone to ever go through that. Like, if you feel like you might be depressed, tell somebody. Tell your parents. Like, unless there's something wrong with them, they will absolutely get you checked out and get you help. Because they want to see you do well. I know my parents do. They have a lot of faith that going to the new school will help me. But, like, 2020 really changed my life a lot for worse. And I'm hoping that in the near future, now that I have reduced activity, that I will be able to reverse that. Because I don't want to live like this. I don't want anyone to live like this. Because it sucks. Like, I lived through a toxic relationship. And my partner was always happy when she was alone, and then I was always missing her when I was alone. But she didn't care. But I'm not going to talk anymore about that. I've ranted a lot about that, and someone in band even said that I need to stop talking about her. I talk about her too much. So, yeah, but honestly, like, that relationship took a lot out of me. It's very hard for me to be entertained or find something funny anymore. That was not a problem that I had before. I was so happy before, and I recovered from a breakup from a little before I got into that one. And then I was, like, somewhat depressed, but I mean, I was still, like, stable. I was still mentally stable. And, you know, Like, it's just, I noticed that dating and relationships have caused a lot of trouble in my life, and I want to avoid that now. Because I don't want to go through what I've already been through twice. I don't want to go through that. Nobody wants to go through that. Trust me. It sucks. Like, people are always in a rush to grow up, and they don't realize, I don't know, if it's country music, then probably. But, but like, what people don't realize is growing up, you get a lot more emotions. You have hormones that, you know, need to be satisfied, and a lot of it's hard to keep up with. Like, young people typically aren't depressed, and they don't usually have anxiety. Like, I have inks. My anxiety is so bad that I cannot even give you a threshold of how bad it is. Like, my anxiety is through the roof. Like, it's over the moon, above the stars, beyond the universe. Ow, my leg hurts. Ow! Okay, so, ow, my joint, my knee really hurts. I've been... Oh shit, I should put the side panel back on my PC. I don't want dust to get in there again. Come on. Get on there. You. So. Hold on. I'm not able to see the chat. I apologize. I'm just putting I'm putting the glass panel back on my PC right now, because I was fixing a problem that I was having. And I'll have to wipe the glass off again, like I always do when I don't use a screwdriver. But all in all, I don't want my past to define me. That's the last thing that I want. I don't want my relationship, my past relationship, or anything that caused me the depression and the amount of anxiety that I have to define my future. Because in some cases, it really isn't a future. Like, and I've noticed, like, there have been 3 suicides of people in my district, people who all went to my school in this past year. 3 people committed suicide back in February and possibly March, but they happened those 2 happened really close together, and then someone who had graduated committed suicide about a month or so ago. And it sucks. It really makes me it's terrible for me, because I'm struggling with the same thing. And, you know, knowing that I didn't know any of these people, I had barely seen them, but, like, it just shows that no matter how low, no matter how, mild or how extreme your depression is, it can spike in an instant and make you impulsive, and then can result in you taking your own life. And that will change. That'll change many people's lives forever. And, like, a lot of people really feel like that there's nothing that they can do to, get the help they need. Because, like, if they say that they are feeling suicidal, people think that they're attention seeking, they're not actually going to do it. But then, when it actually does happen, people wish that there was something that they could have done, and that's something that they're going to have to live with for the rest of their life because they didn't pay attention to the signs. They didn't pay attention to the signals. And that's why whenever you see someone upset, say something to them. Talk to them. Be a friend. Because it's not fun. Like, no one should ever have to go through that. No human being deserves to go through that. But anyway. But the impact that it can have, it's not going to be taken lightly. And a lot of my classmates can confirm that. Like, first, and hell, even I, in honor of Suicide Awareness Month, for all the people who took their lives in this past year, I made a video playing One More Light by Linkin Park about one of their friends who committed suicide. And it's such a good song. Like, I loved it so much that, like, I listened to it, and I was just immediately in love. And that's what it seems to do, because, like, I showed it to my friend, one of my other friends, and he was like, whoa, what song is that? I'm like, it's One More Light. He's like, oh, it's the song that so-and-so has been singing. Because, like, we used to be in a group chat together, and he would always sing that song, and he would just be like, oh my gosh, he's so bad at singing. His voice is so monotone, it's terrible. But then he hears the actual song, it's like, he's like, okay, I can actually, like, I can relax to this. Like, it has a really nice vibe to it. I just love the way that everything mends together in that song. It's a really good song for a rock band. Just like Nothing Else Matters by Metallica. And music definitely can help people. It absolutely has helped me in the past. Whether it's playing your heart out or just listening to something that you love in the car, or just whatever with music. Like, somehow, eventually, it finds its way to help you. And that is what I want for everyone who is struggling with depression or anything along those lines, bipolar disorder. That's what I want everyone to go out and try to do. Find music that eases your mind, that calms your senses, and brings you peace. Because that is one of the most relaxing feelings that you can have. And it'll all be worth it in the end. You'll be glad that you did it and you got your life back on track. And I'm hoping that'll happen too. I want to get my life back on track. I want to get out of high school so I can go and work in the IUEC. Because that's what I want to do. And if I stay in my current high school, there's no way that I will be able to. Like, there's too many kids. There's 2,000 students that go there. And there are a lot of teachers, but the help that you're able to receive is, the amount of help that you're able to receive is not great. Like, good help is really, really hard to get. Just from personal experience, good help is really hard to get. That's all I can really say about it. But yeah. And then I went out filming a couple weeks ago. I went out to West 410, west of I-10. I went really far out to go film. I found a lot of good stuff, but I discovered that I don't enjoy filming elevators as much as I used to. Like, it doesn't bring me the joy that it would have 10 years ago. Like, it's crazy, like, how your interest can change, because I've been interested in elevators since I was 4 years old, and I'm 17. And I've been watching Andrew for 11 of those 17 years that I've been around. And I met him 5 years ago, so I've known him for 5 years. And Andrew has been really good to me. Andrew is absolutely a good aide. I could call him a mentor, a coach. And, like, if anyone in the elevator community has trouble, you could absolutely talk to him if you wanted to. And that's one of the things that he has given me, and it's helped a lot. It's helped me a lot through everything that I've been going through. Yeah, he is an awesome person. Like, every time he comes down to Texas, he visits me. Like, even with his brief visit, he wasn't even in San Antonio for 24 hours. He still figured out a way to visit me with the time that he had. And it really goes to show how good of a friend that he can be. And I hope that everyone can surround themselves with people like that. Because that's what a lot of us could use. That's what a lot of us could use right now. Even with some of the people that I've surrounded myself with, I could always use more. Because Andrew lives in Virginia, I live in Texas. So, like, not having the face-to-face interaction, it's not the same. I like hanging out with people, having fun, going to the bowling alley, whatever. It really gets you going. And, like, when you're depressed, it's really good to get up and go have fun, go places, instead of just sit in bed, because it's not going to do you any good. It's just like being sick. Like, it's hard to, it's hard to accept, but it really helps to get up and move around. But, yeah. So, elevator videos on this channel, there won't be too many more, I hate to say. I recently uploaded videos that I took over a year ago. Because I really want to clear out my iCloud. and I went out filming to get some more content to keep me going for a couple more weeks. Because right now I have videos going live every Friday. For a little bit, for a while actually, I had videos going live more frequently than that because I had so much and I wanted to be able to, give y'all good content. I wanted y'all to be able to see, like, the cool things that I was coming across. And, like, it really is hard to keep a channel going when you're in a state like I am. Like, it's not easy to work when you have depression. It never has been, it never will be. And it affects some people worse than others. But, yeah. And I never meant for my rant about it to be damn near an hour long, but, like, I noticed a lot. I have this in common with Andrew. Like, if we have a stream going for a long period of time, or we're talking about something, we tend to repeat ourselves over certain things because, hey, Slap Bass Drum, welcome here. Welcome aboard. I've never seen you before. Enjoy, my friend. But yeah, right now I'm just I'm shifting more into the interest of weather. I'm shifting back into that. I got into weather in 2015, and well, yeah, I'm not going to college because to be an elevator technician, all you need is a high school diploma, and starting pay is almost $80,000 a year. So, it's a really good option for me. But to be certified, it takes, at least with Schindler down here, it takes 5 years with their apprenticeship program. No, I'm not in college. I'm a junior in high school right now. Getting ready to transfer schools. Yeah, and that would be really good. And I've a friend, he's a really good friend of mine now. Some of y'all who follow me on Instagram might know who he is. His name is Cryptech Vincent. It's Cryptech, ITZ_Cryptech. He is actually one of the reasons that I started working at Sonic. I cannot skip school tomorrow. My attendance is, I also have a meeting tomorrow at school, and my attendance is really important for my education at this new school. So, I cannot, and nor do I want to, because I do not want to be here alone all day again, because I had RSV a couple weeks ago, and it sucked not having any interaction. Because I hate being alone. It sucks. So, answer to that is no way. Not gonna happen. But, what was I talking about? So, oh yeah, Cryptech. He is, just before he left and moved to college in Colorado, he goes to CMU. He became a manager at the Sonic he was working at, and the location he was working at, a couple of my classmates actually work at that exact location, and knowing how much, Vincent is a really cool guy, and if y'all are not subscribed to him, I highly suggest you do so, because he's quite a gamer, and he puts out really good content. He streams frequently. Even with his laptop in college, he has a pretty good laptop for gaming. He puts out good gaming videos. And he's a really good guy to talk to. Like, he put me on his close friends list for his stories on Instagram. Dust everywhere, I don't know why. But, yeah, let me actually... post a link to his channel in the comments. If this thing will ever... What the hell? I don't want Photoshop. Ah! Ah, damn it. Oh, I got hair in my eye. I don't even know why that hurts so much. Oh boy, Clawboss filed for unemployment. And then this happened. He posted that video during the production of this stream. So... But it would have been really fun to work at Sonic with Vincent as a manager, because he is such a cool guy. He is one of, by far, one of, if not the coolest person I have ever met. He's the coolest guy in the world. And he plays saxophone now, so he's even cooler. So, like, he's played clarinet since he was in 7th grade, and now he's in college. He plays saxophone, which is really cool. I've always loved saxophone. So, we post the link to his channel. Highly recommend that y'all check him out. Let me just make sure that worked. Yep, it worked. And is that channel art actually his own picture? If so, that is freaking sick. That is sick. That is awesome. So, yeah, and I mean, to keep myself busy, I've just mostly been working. And the reason I got my job, and I said this at my interview, the reason I got my job was to keep myself busy, get myself out doing more, so that way I wouldn't just be sitting on my ass all day doing nothing. Because, you know, I could be out doing something and getting paid to do it. And that was really what I needed. It has helped with my depression, and I've been smiling a lot more there. Like, my first few days there, I was smiling a lot, and it was great. It really boosted me along a lot. Like I'm doing now. I don't know how it happens, it just does. But yeah. So why is this taking so long? I have been installing Windows 11 on my PC since before I started this stream. It's only at 90%. My sister is still in the freaking shower. But yeah. Anyway, I also want to talk about some of the mods that are being done right now. Some of the mods that are ongoing. I'm gonna start with the Marriott River Center. That's a very hot one right now. That's a huge account for Schindler, and it's not their first time modding those things. They started out as Westinghouse in 1987, and then in the late 90s, Schindler came in, and they pretty much replaced everything on the passenger elevators except for the COP panels. COP panel? What the hell? COP, car operating panel. They replaced everything except the COPs, the call button plates, and the lanterns and bells. But, well, they kept the original, like, metal panel, but they put new buttons in them. They took out the indicators with the staggering numbers, and they replaced it with Acme. And good, it doesn't auto-stop after an hour, like Instagram does. So, Like, the passenger elevators were pretty much... They were pretty much safe for a lot longer. Like, I mean, that mod lasted them about 20 years. And they're getting modded again now. And the service elevators have been... Those are completely original from 1987. Those are the only completely original elevators in the hotel. And honestly, they should have started on those first, because those need the mod way more than any elevator I have ever seen in my life. Last time I tried to ride them before they even touched them, it took 5 minutes to get a car. It took 5 minutes to get an elevator after I pressed the call button. And the one that got there, oh my gosh, it was the same one that Andrew filmed and put on YouTube back in, I don't know what year it was, 2012 or something. He started from the 38th floor. It was in the evening hours. And it wasn't in too bad of shape in his video, but when I got to it, oh my god, it had been so hammer fucked between the time that he and I looked at that very elevator. I was in disbelief. I was in shock, like how beaten up the indicator was on that thing, and some of the brails that were bolted into the metal, the stainless steel bolted into the stainless steel, those had been beaten so much that they fell off, which is incredible. Like, can you imagine how much that takes? Because stainless steel is a really durable material, and a braille with bolts, like full-on metal bolts, rivets, like, that takes so much force, and it takes so much, like, it takes so much abuse to, you know, get that to even come loose. And the fact that a bunch were missing is shocking to me. Like, those elevators need that mod so bad. Like, they finished Car K, what is now Car K. I believe it was originally referred to as car number 20. But the mod's good. I have a video of it on my channel, with Matt from GPGBDAF, which he's actually the only person that runs that channel now. It's no longer co-owned. So, yeah, that's some news right there. And, like, honestly, no matter how much people love Westinghouse, at some point, they're going to go bad. Like, the quality of Westinghouse stuff has been declining over the past few years, and as a result, a lot of them have been getting replaced. Like, Embassy Suites, that got modded this past year. I have a panel from it right now. This panel. I have this panel. Not too many people know that I own this, but I do. This is the panel from Car 3. And I wired it up with Christmas lights. Here's the call button, one of them. I sold others on eBay, gave others away. I gave 2 of them away, I believe. Yeah, I gave 2 of them away. No, 3 of them. Everyone knows where this came from. The sproing tells you. But yeah, like, Westinghouse products have not been holding up very well. And that's why this is here. And even before Embassy, like way before Embassy, Northwood Tower got modernized. The glass Westinghouse elevators. Those were childhood elevators of mine. And when they got modded, I was very, very shocked. And in the video that Andrew filmed of the hydraulic elevator, I I literally said, I'm glad they haven't touched the inside of, well, I was trying to say that, but Andrew was trying to hear the motor, so he shushed me. And what do you know? 2 years later, well, 2.5 years later, rather, more than that, they start modding them. I didn't know about it until a year and a half later when we filmed there in 2019. And it was a big shock, but I guess it's to be expected, even though they were installed in 1991, which meant that they were installed completely by Schindler. They were not done by Westinghouse whatsoever. And like, a lot of that stuff has been disappearing, and I'm surprised Marriott River Center held on as long as it did, because those service elevators, they've needed help for a long time. They're super slow. They still are slow. But and the amount of abuse those things have taken, like, usually elevator mods, they take between 2 and 3 months. Maybe. But with an Otis Elevonic Otis 401, Otis has a package for those where they can mod them in half a month. They can mod one car in half a month because they have a package for Elevonic. Oh shit. They have a package for Elevonic 401. So, yeah. Like, when those go, they go quick. Like, they roll through them. It does not take long for Otis to do an Elevonic 401 mod. And they really want to be the ones that do the mod because they are very sensitive about the boards on the COPs. They don't want other companies taking them and decoding them. Which is why it was kind of a task for Steven to get an Elevonic 401 panel from the Hilton Anatole. But he ended up getting it, and it's an amazing piece. It's a beautiful panel. And it goes great with the Westinghouse panel that I gave him. I gave him the car panel from elevator number 2 at the Embassy Suites by the San Antonio airport. That's one of his new favorite pieces. He even changed his profile picture to one of the buttons with a picture of the Anatole on it. It's a painting of the Anatole that he just, like, spliced on there. And I'm glad that I've been able to give stuff to him, because he's a really good person. Dover Elevator Fan 1 is a great person. If you're not subscribed to him, absolutely do so, because he's really cool. He has a really good sense of humor, too. He'll live stream here and then, too. Damn. But, yeah. I'm not gonna try and stream for too much longer. I'm probably going to end it here in the next 10 minutes. I want to. But, yeah, Marriott River Center is finally getting the mod that it needs, and I'm sure the the hotel guests are happy about it, because the whole hotel has been completely renovated. They have redone everything. The guest floors, they've all been repainted, they've all been redone. If you look at my video of the passenger elevators compared to an older video like Andrew's video, you'll see the changes. Like, when we pan the camera around on the 38th floor, it's changed a lot. Like, it used to be like kind of a beige-ish orange kind of color scheme to like a more modern, like, you know, with grays and greens and stuff like that. Yeah, they've completely renovated that hotel. They even replaced the escalators too, which I'm surprised by. Like, cause like you never see that happen. And oh my god, don't get me started on River Center Mall, right next door. But they replaced the escalators with something that I did not know existed. So the escalators, they go super slow to reduce power consumption, and when someone steps on it, it speeds up to normal speed. So that's really cool. I didn't know that existed. That is something that Matt told me right before I stepped on the escalator, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to see, not gonna lie. But the River Center Mall, I was thinking about this a lot earlier today on my way to school from my meeting at the other school. The River Center Mall, I love the place, but their elevators are not great. They're not good at all. Like, yeah, they might have been beaten up, but Kone completely trashed them. Like, and when people say Kone, they say that their installs are bad, their EcoDisc installs are bad, their hydros are good, and that the mods and maintenance they perform are good. That might be true for wherever they're speaking from, but down here, none of that is true. The mod they did there is terrible. It was an absolute joke. They replaced every single elevator, every single escalator. Like, malls don't usually do shit like that. And I've come to realize that when they do, it's devastating. And, like, with the amount of business, like, malls have had declines in business over the last couple decades. So I don't know what River Center was thinking by modding the elevators and replacing the escalators, because that's easily over $100,000 thrown towards Kone to do their shit work. And honestly, I will take that to my grave. They did a terrible job at the Marriott River Center, which is why I hope they don't get the mod for the Alamo Dome, because that is going to go next. I've known about that mod. Those are going to get modded. I've known about that mod for over a year now. I've anticipated it for several years, just like I did the Marriott River Center. And, like, I don't understand why a mall would replace every single one of its elevators. Even the freight elevators got modded. Like, you never, ever see a mall do something like that. But with a mall as big as River Center, maybe they had a bit of reasoning behind it, but most of the time, a mall will not benefit from something like that. So, yeah, that's my rant on River Center. Because the hydraulic elevator, they only had one of them, and if it was broken all the time, and it was more, and if it costed more to, keep up with it, then it would be to mod it. I can understand that, but not with the shit job that Kone did. Because, yeah, it'll still take people places, but the ride quality is not good. To some people, that's fun. To people that, critique the shit out of these things, we hate it. And a lot of people hate Kone because of the shit that they do. Like, the EcoDisc is such a bad machine, and the new EcoDisc installs and mods need to stop. Like, and that is something that Felicia can back me up on, and he will take to his grave. He hates Kone as well. But, yeah, nothing Kone does down here is good. Like, I posted a video last week from, Rolling Oaks Mall, the freight elevator. There is almost 2 feet of water in the fucking pit. And based on how many times I've found each elevator there broken. Kone does not do a good job of maintaining those elevators at all. The escalators too. I find the escalators broken a lot. The ones near where Macy's was. There are some Hitachi escalators by where Sears once was, but those have not ran in a very long time, and they will not run in a very long time because those are some of the last Hitachi escalators in the country. They are extremely rare, and there's just no way to get parts for them, let alone maintain them, so they will never, those escalators will never run again. That's all I can say. But yeah. And Kone maintains North Star Mall too. I'm not sure if y'all can tell, but Kone maintains North Star Mall. There's in the video I filmed of the freight elevator, I showed the Montgomery Kone logo that they put inside the elevator. So it really goes to show that Kone maintains those. And the fact that the passenger elevator there by the food court had a mod, and then it got modded again in 2012. Or no, it got modded, I think, in 2012, and then it got modded in 2014. And then the parking elevators they got modded a couple years ago. They used to be Dover with Impulse, and they were from the 80s too. Those things have been beaten to hell as well. Like those have probably seen 2 or 3 mods in their lifetime, because they started as Dover in the 1980s, and then I think ThyssenKrupp modded them with Impulse, which is kind of silly if you think about it. And then ThyssenKrupp modded some of them, Kone modded others. It's really weird how maintenance at that place works. Like, every elevator in that mall has seen some sort of, like, heavy overhaul. Like, JCPenney there, I'm sure that the elevator there used to have Montgomery Vector, because the freight elevator is Montgomery still, with Innovation Universal, and it has the bell like the Vector does. So, yeah, but it has Adams lanterns, which is really interesting to me. It kind of looks like the Otis Chevron lanterns from the 60s. But, yeah. It's just... North Star Mall, it's not a good... I really do not like that place. I used to absolutely love it. I would always want to go there. Up until recently. And then I was just like, wow, this place sucks. And then I had been there enough to where, like... Just stepping in there, I was like, okay, yeah, this place sucks. And then I would realize that I would still want to go there, but then every time I would go in there, I would be like, oh yeah, this place sucks. And now, it's sticking with me to where I don't want to go back there. And honestly, I probably never will. Even though the only Macy's in town that's still running is at North Star Mall. At least that I'm aware of. And that is the only... Macy's is the only store in that mall that still has the passenger elevator original. It's not completely original because the call buttons and the lanterns have been replaced with chime boxes and stuff, but controller-wise, it's still a Westinghouse. It has EPCO Circle Line, which I absolutely hate, and it has the Adams Survivor call stations, the surface mount ones. It used to have the dinner bells. I remember when it did, and then I remember when I found out that they replaced them. I was pissed. I was like 8. So that was half my life ago. More than half my life ago. So, yeah. You can really hear my candle. Listen to this thing. I love woodwick candles. They're expensive though, but I think it's worth it. So, oh boy. Your PC needs to restart to install Windows 11. Restart! You're about to be signed out. Okay, that's what you're supposed to do. You don't have to tell me. You've done it a million times. You signed me out. Windows 11 Installation Assistant will reboot your device to complete the install. Don't care, just do it. Okay, what are you waiting for? Let me take a screenshot really quick before this change takes place. But, yeah, honestly, malls really won't do much good modding their elevators with the amount of business they've been losing over the past few years. Because, like, how much more money could you make by replacing your elevators? Like, think about it. You will spend more money replacing the elevators and escalators. You will never be able to make that back with the route that malls are going these days. Like back in the 1920s all the way until the 1970s, I believe, pawn shops were the #1 source of consumer credit, and now that's not the case. Because we have stuff like eBay now, you know, where things can reach the ultimate audience without going to someone else who wants to make a profit off of it. Because you get to make that profit. Like, nothing stays prevalent forever. Like, pawn shops are they're not the best place to sell things anymore. Malls are not the best place to shop anymore. Like, ever since the Forum was built back in the late 90s, it's taken a toll on the business the mall has been getting, Rolling Oaks Mall. The Forum at Olympia Parkway, if any of you know what that is, that is what has been taking most of the mall's business, because there was a GameStop in the mall, and there's a GameStop in the Forum. I remember there was even a Radio Shack in the mall. Now it's a tattoo shop. That was a long, long time ago. Like, Radio Shacks have been... I've seen a lot of Radio Shacks in this area move, and like, even before Radio Shack was bankrupt, I saw them moving. They moved out of the mall, and yeah, hold on. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, River Center, what were you thinking? You were never going to make over $100,000 back with the way that mall business is spiraling. It's just, you wasted your money. It's just like the Hilton Ballpark East Hotel in St. Louis, Missouri. If they had left them Westinghouse, they could have avoided the biggest financial mistake they'd ever made. Because they modded them, they had Schindler mod them with port from Westinghouse, and then Schindler's service was so shitty in that area, and they weren't able to get any other companies to work on it because Schindler equipment, like most things nowadays, is proprietary. So they had to mod them again. They had to rip the port out, and they had Midwest mod them, I believe. Which it really shows Schindler's attributes to that area. So, yeah, I mean, and that's definitely reason for people not to go with Schindler. Like, someone could absolutely... Whoa! Whoa, 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 okay. Oh, shit. Damn it. Are you freaking serious? Startup set... Says that, it brought me straight to recovery. So, oh, wow. So the BIOS is... Oh, it's not different. Never mind. Alright. Goodbye. Don't know why You had to open up, but yeah. I mean, the Hilton Ballpark, it's a great hotel, but they spent a lot of money on their elevators because they modded them to port and then they modded them again with Midwest. So that's 2 mods. Think about how much one mod costs, and then times 2, like ripping out new equipment, like that's unheard of. You'll need recovery tools. A required device isn't connected or can't be accessed. Your PC device needs to be repaired. Damn it. I hope I have my flash drive around here somewhere, otherwise I am screwed. Yes, I have it. I still have it. Thank God. Alright, so let me plug this bad boy in here, and then, come on. Wrong way. Don't tell me it's wrong. Oh, nope, that's it. Hey. Hey, what the hell?
I'd like to know what went wrong. If you want to give me more details, just say, I have feedback.
Since when did I say the wake word for my Echo Dot? Which, the wake word, by the way, is Echo. That's what I set it to. Yeah, my PC just shut down. I don't even know why, so... Okay. Let me try starting it up again. Very quickly, it goes to that. So, you'll need to use recovery tools. So, plug the flash drive in. Let's try again. No? Oh my god. I hope I did not just make the biggest mistake I've ever made on my PC. I spent over $1,000 on this thing. I do not want it to be fucked up now. So, let me start up. Okay, so let me go with this for right now. Wait. No, that's not gonna do me any good because this has my old install of Windows 10. That's months old now. So that's not gonna do me any good. Shit. Yes, quit without saving because I don't know what the hell I just did. It said that I met all the requirements to be able to get it, so I don't know what's going on with it. Like a disk or USB device. Well, okay, well, let me try again. Shit. There go my headphones. I need to make like more of a lip on the edge so they can't fall off so easy. But yeah. And like I was saying about the Alamo Dome, I really hope Kone doesn't get that job. Schindler, my friend at Schindler said that Schindler was close to getting that job for a little bit. Because, like, I've known that they want to mod those. I've known about that for over a year. I read a news article on it saying that they're going to, they're having another renovation project there. And I'm surprised they didn't mod the elevators in one of the previous renovations they did. They're having another renovation project, which is going to include replacing all the elevators and escalators before the Final Four in 2025 or 2024. But they had a meeting with Schindler a year ago, and they still have not picked a company to do the mod. Like, they are really dragging their feet and taking their sweet ass time. And at this rate, they are not going to be done with that mod by the Final Four. It's impossible. There's no way it's going to happen. Even if Kone does it. God forbid that they even consider Kone doing the mod. I hope they've been to River Center once. Like, if you ride the elevators at River Center once, you'll know what I mean. But the one by Dave & Buster's, I like. I like that one. But, yeah. Anyways, I just, messed up my PC. So, I have another problem on my hands now. I'm gonna need to contact my cousin directly. Which is someone I also recommend y'all subscribe to. He does not have 100 subscribers yet. His name is PlayStation King Cursed, I believe. I don't know. He has changed it quite a bit. He's exhibited quite a few name changes. He's altered it a little bit over the past few months. But, yeah. It's my cousin. He's the one that got me into upgrading my PC and stuff. And, you know, building PCs. Although, I'm drifting away from it now. I don't like games anywhere near as much as I used to. So, yeah, anyway. I've been streaming for an hour and a half. And I think that was more than enough to tell y'all what's been going on with my life and what's going to be going on with my life, as well as my channel. And those of y'all who are longtime subscribers, you may have noticed that I don't talk quite the way that I used to. I am trying to talk more like Felicia now. I'm trying to talk really fast, but it's not always so easy because, like, you can really only talk as fast as you can come up with words. This water is uncomfortably warm. It's like above room temperature, and I don't like that. I didn't even smell it before I drank it. Oh well. But, anyway. That's gonna do it. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for listening. I have been struggling. And I appreciate y'all sticking around. Getting me to over 200 subscribers. I'm getting past halfway between 200 and 300. It really means a lot to me that 259 of y'all watch me and like what you see. So, anyways, my name is Rafe. This is Grayish Valley. Hope you enjoyed. I'll talk to y'all soon.